All right, today we're going to tackle an issue that's really common. In fact, it's an older video that I made that is one of my most popular videos because it's an issue that a lot of people have. If these pieces look familiar to you, then you've got a front-loading oscillating sewing machine, and occasionally you have to take these pieces out to clean or to fix a jam or something like that. So we need to know how to put these back in properly, and we need to know why we're doing it because it will help in the process. All right, so these are your three parts. This is your hook. All right, that pointy part right here is the hook itself. It's what forms the stitches. This center post is where your bobbin case latches on the center. You'll notice that this hook is a half moon. It's not a full circle because this machine doesn't make a full revolution. It goes back and forth like this. The other half of this circle is actually in the machine, part of the machine. It's that C shape in here. That's the hook driver. So if you move your hand wheel back and forth, you'll see it moves, and it will move the hook where it needs to be when it needs to be. Okay, so that's your hook. This here is your retaining ring. This is what's going to hold your hook in place. There's some features on here that are probably very similar to the one that you have, or might be slightly different, but they form the same function. So you'll notice there's a ring and there's a notch here at the top. That notch corresponds to your bobbin case. This is actually where that finger is supposed to go, right inside of there. So you'll know that'll be at the top at 12 o'clock. That's where when you put your bobbin case in, you'll align it with that notch. This little protrusion here, this little piece actually corresponds with the 6 o'clock position inside of your machine. So that notch down there is where this goes. Okay? So you've got this notch for your bobbin case at 12, and this little bump down here at 6. So this will go in like that. Now on some of these rings, you'll have bumps on the sides, kind of like this bump. And on some machines, you'll have recesses like these. They do the exact same thing, so don't worry about that. We'll get to that in a moment. This is the top of this ring. Your needle will enter right in this opening. So the first thing is when you're taking these apart for cleaning or clearing a thread jam or something, make sure there's no thread or lint buildup in this track, your race that goes around the outer edge. Clean it out with a brush or like a Q-tip or a toothpick or something like that. Make sure it's all cleared out. The next thing you'll want to do is make sure that there aren't any needle strikes on this, any like sharp. Run your fingernail across it, and if your fingernail gets caught, take a little emery board and smooth it out a little bit. You may find them across here, on here. Make sure the tip is nice and pointy. You don't want to reshape this too much, but you don't want sharp spots on here because the thread is going to pass by here. Make sure it's nice and smooth. And if you do have a burr at the tip of this, take an emery board. Here, let me grab one, and I can show you. You want to use the fine side of the emery board. This one's seen better days, and you'll take it, and let's say we had a burr on the inside here. You would take it and lightly hold it against it and pull it toward the point. Never go against the point. Pull it toward the point like this, just lightly, and then check it again, okay? Make sure it's nice and smooth. And then you're going to take one drop. Wipe it off with a paper towel so there's any like little sawdust. Sandpaper bits from the emery board that are off, so you're not going to get caught in the machine. Also, one drop on the outer edge. Okay, and then take your finger and just kind of rub it over that edge. That's going to lubricate that hook. Next thing you're going to do to install it is you're going to hold your hook by that center pin that the bobbin case is going to hook onto. And you're going to look at that C-shaped driver in there. I'm going to move it again so you can see it. Moving back and forth. That's the other half of the circle. So you're going to match these up. You're going to put it in, and it should be nice and flush in there. Okay, not sticking out. You can kind of move this a little bit, but it will fall out if the machine's not tipped back at all. Now you're going to make sure that these arms on either side are out of the way and that your needle is up and not sticking down below, because that will get in the way as well. You're going to take this retaining ring and make sure that little knob is at 6 o'clock. You're going to put it into there. Make sure it just sits in there nice and evenly. And then bring your arms across to the front. They're going to hold it in place. So now's a good time to take your hand wheel and just kind of jog this back and forth to make sure it's moving smoothly, that you've done it correctly. Now that that's done, we'll talk about the bobbin case. Let's see here. Here's a bobbin. Now there's two ways you can put a bobbin in. You can put a bobbin in with the thread coming off the right side, or, if it'll focus, there we go, thread coming off the left side. In this bobbin case, if you're looking at the opening, you always want to put your bobbin in so it looks like a Q with the thread coming off the right side. The reason being is you always want thread in a bobbin, in any machine, to reverse direction as it's exiting the bobbin. Right? So it's coming off the right side. It's going to, let's see if we can find our notch. There's our notch. Put it into that notch, and it's go underneath this tension plate. Pull it toward the center until it's right there at the opening. Now, when I pull to the left, you'll see that the bobbin rotates away to the right. You might even be able to see inside there a little bit that the thread is coming off this side and changing direction. You never want the bobbin to chase the thread like this. You never want, if I'm pulling to the left, you never want that bobbin to rotate to the left, because it can overspin and jam. All right? So always put it in like a Q and pull on it to make sure that it's going in the opposite direction. Once you've got that going on, hold your bobbin in place, and you're going to line up that center hole of the bobbin case with this pin down here, the center pin. You're going to put it on like this, and your finger is going to be at 12 o'clock, and you're just going to push, you're going to, let's see, you're going to line it up with that notch on the ring and just click it into place. Now it's ready to go. If you need to release it, you can pull on this lever, but you don't need to use that lever when installing. The last thing we need to do is get that thread to the top, right? So you got your bobbin thread below, you got your top thread, hopefully inside of your presser foot. Hold on to that thread on top and rotate your hand wheel. Your needle will go down, your needle will come up, and right at the top you'll feel a little release. That's when it lets go of the thread. Pull up on that upper thread. You're going to see that it makes a loop. That loop is your bobbin thread. You're going to want to pull it out all the way. You'll see you have two threads. You've got your upper thread and you've got your bobbin thread, and you're going to put your upper thread through the foot. And what's going to happen here is the fabric will go in between those two. So you'll put them to the back. Close your door. Put your fabric in. Oh, I had something other thing engaged. There we go. That noise was because I had my bobbin winder engaged. So if you ever push the presser foot and you hear a whirring sound but nothing's happening, look up top. You might need to disengage your bobbin winder. Okay, so now that is done, we should be good to go. And that's really all it takes to get that back together in the hook area. I know it causes a lot of problems for people, but once you understand what you're looking at and why you're doing it a certain way, it actually becomes easier and easier every time you do it. And I would recommend that you practice doing it, because you don't want to be in a time crunch and have that be the time you try to figure it out. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe to the channel, like the video. Leave comments down below. Let me know if it helped, and if there are other machines or other parts of machines that you would like me to cover. I would gladly do that. And other than that, I hope this helped. And there's many ways to contribute to the channel through Patreon, through becoming a member at YouTube. We also have a store here at YouTube. But thanks for watching, and I hope this helped. Until next time, take care.